Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, children. See, children, for now, today's two activities are pending in lesson 4. Those are number 1. First one is on what factors does focal length depend on? That is, on what factors does focal length depend on? See, for this activity, take a focal length of known convex lens of known focal length. Earlier case में experiment में करे वही focal length लो और take a tumbler, glass tumbler or cylindrical vessel and take a black stone and a lens holder. These are the material required. Then first keep the stone inside the tumbler. उसके बाद then afterwards do not fill first time with water. You fill the then known focal length and the tumbler length should be greater than, that is the depth of the focal length should be 4 times the focal length of the known convex lens. Then afterwards insert the lens holder and place the lens on it and put a stone inside the cylindrical vessel. Now observe number 1, first time observe the image, virtual image जो आता ना, if the known focal length say are at a distance of known focal length or less than the known focal length distance, keep the distance between the stone and the lens and try to observe the image. You will get a virtual image in air. So that was in air. So first one over. Now second one, then afterwards you fill with it water. Fill it with water. अब क्या होगा? Now try to increase the distance till such time you see. Now then you will find that after fill it with water, second one. So second case में still you can see the virtual image. But when the distance was increased. So from this glass tumbler में you understand that. See, earlier case air में रहा तो known focal length था. When we started increasing the distance, अभी भी जो है known focal length little less than और वो जो है आर इक्वल टू द फोकल लेंथ जो है वर्चुअल इमेज आता है, आपको मालूम है, जो वो मिरर में दिखाई देता. बट व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड इंक्रीजिंग इट आफ्टर पोरिंग वाटर, देन क्या हो गया? इट इज यू स्टिल आफ्टर इंक्रीजिंग आल्सो, दैट इज उससे ज्यादा रहा तो कॉन्वेक्स लेंस इन बिटवीन एफ एंड P रहा तो you cannot see the image if it is more than that virtual image. But when you started increasing it, you are able to see the virtual image. That tells us that on what factors does focal length depends on the surrounding medium. ये है important. Focal length depends on the surrounding medium. That is first case was air, next case was water. Air में जो है it was different focal length. Now when water was poured in, the focal length increased. So it increased. Now also some more for your information, focal length apart from these, it also depends on the radius of curvature, radii of curvature of both the surfaces, and also it depends on the refractive index of the material medium. So it depends on material, it depends on the radii of curvature and surrounding medium, A3. So focal length depends on these 3 mediums. So that is the activity for you to understand. It depends that, see, in the material changes or the surrounding medium changes, focal length also changes. Activity prove करने के लिए. Is this clear? Now see, lens maker's formula is pending for this lesson. That will complete your lesson. You try to write this as homework. Then see, let us say take a lens, convex lens, draw a principal axis, and let us imagine an object at O is suffering twice refraction. यहाँ first time it is incidenting on the convex lens, refracting in the lens, and again forming, यहाँ पे image हुआ, so it is forming image Q, and this image has become object for this surface. Then again image is formed, final image is formed at I. Now see this object, now let us, we all know that for the curved surface ये तो principal axis and U object distance, dV image distance, and this is X first time का image, so and this is the pole, and let NA and NB be the refractive indices of the A first medium, second medium is lens, air or medium, or let us say first medium, second medium, radii of curvature for this radii R1, for this radii R2, but for this radii R1 रहा तो it is negative, for this radii R2 रहा तो it is positive, and ये U जो है against the incident रहा तो negative. These are all positive. So ये जो है normal and A and B are the points where incidents, O is the object, and Q and I are the images. First image, second image. This is the final image. So now we know that Lensmaker's formula derived. We know that for curved surfaces N2 by V minus N1 by U. First starting equation जो है lesson start करे खुद 8 first video 8 days 8 to 10 days back this 8 tutorial ना. So उसमें we have derived that lemon experiment के बाद okay lemon और वो जो है उल्टा arrow mark करे थे उसके बाद so N2 by V minus N1 by U is equal to here आप जो है N2 के जगह X लिखे थे तो मैं correction में books में नहीं करा था गलत है बोल के बताया लिखने के लिए जल्दी में आप you have seen that and written X so don't get confused. So N2 by V minus N1 by U is equal to N2 minus N1 by R. So you take textbooks and write. Now see, a ray from the object O incidents on A and refracts यहाँ पे refracts and forms image at Q. ये point पे Q. This is the first image. Now, so we know that N1 is equal to, that is first object, first का material refractive index, just now I told NA. N2 is equal to NB refractive index, then PO, that is the object distance is U, and since it is against the incident ray, it is minus U, and PQ, that is PQ, image distance is equal to X, ये वाला. So then R, since it is incidenting on this surface, so on this surface, it is radius is in the same direction, so R1, this is correct. So R1, so incidenting. So this, now substituting these values in that, so यहाँ N2 के जगह substitute NB by X, V is X. So NB by X minus NA by minus U, this will become plus totally, okay? ये जो है plus हो जाता है, ये दो चले जाते हैं, okay? Minus into minus will turn into, so it will turn. So NA by U is minus U, so it will turn to plus. उसके बाद जो है, then N2 is NB minus N1 by R1. So this is the, let this be the equation 2. Now second one, a ray refracted, this ray refracted suffers another refraction, और एक तो refraction होगा, ये object होगा आपको, और ये lens में कहाँ पे ये सरफेस पे अंदर से जाके यहाँ से शुरू हुआ रिफ्रैक्शन इमेज यहाँ फॉर्म हुआ और फिर यहाँ से पूरे फॉर्म होते हैं यहाँ इमेज फाइनल इमेज फॉर्म हो रहा. सो दिस रिफ्रैक्शन के लिए सफर्स अनदर रिफ्रैक्शन एट बी ऑन कॉन्केव सरफेस विथ R2, ये सरफेस R2 पे एंड फॉर्म्स इमेज एंड रीचेस I to फॉर्म इमेज ऑन द प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस. सो दिस इज द प्रिंसिपल एक्सिस, ये सब मालूम है आपको. सो नाउ हियर ऑब्जेक्ट डिस्टेंस इज विच इज ऑब्जेक्ट, ये वाला इज ऑब्जेक्ट, ये पॉइंट ये रहा तो फिर इसके लिए ऑब्जेक्ट यहाँ से ये इमेज यहाँ फॉर्म हुआ तो ये ऑब्जेक्ट है. सो ये Q इज द ऑब्जेक्ट नाउ. सो PQ ऑब्जेक्ट डिस्टेंस इज PQ इज इक्वल टू X, सेम डायरेक्शन है से X, PQ इज इक्वल टू X, PI इज इक्वल टू V, देन दैट इज इमेज डिस्टेंस. And R2 for this surface measurement is done from pole again as, so it is minus R2. So it is minus R2. N1 is equal to A, NB, N2 is equal to NA. So this, now substituting these again in equation 1, वो वाला first वाला equation में we substitute NA by V minus NB by X is equal to NA minus NB by minus R2. ये उल्टा हुआ तो it becomes nothing but NB minus NA by R2 हो जाएगा, R2. So this is the final equation 3 which we call. Okay, now see equation 2 and equation 3 ये दो ऐड करें तो क्या होगा, NA by V, यहाँ पे ये बचेगा NA by V ब्लू पार्ट, so NA by V and NA by U, NA by U, दिस वन प्लस, तो अभी तो मैंने सब्सट्रैक्ट करके ये दो ब्लू पार्ट्स चले जाएंगे और NA by U बचेगा. सो दैट वन एंड NB माइनस NA, दोनों में NB माइनस NA कॉमन है. सो NB माइनस NA होल ब्रैकेट 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So this, now dividing this fold throughout equation, because here NA is there and common तो divide कर दिए तो so it becomes, यहाँ भी common है, so 1 by V here remains 1 by V plus 1 by U is equal to NB by NA, और ये NA डिवाइड करे तो 1 हो जाएगा, यहाँ 1 आ गया, then 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2. So but NB by NA we know on generalization is nothing but relative refractive index, and also on general it is called as NBA, And also on generalization, since it was used for convex lens, if we substitute here 1 by V minus U, because U is measured from pole and it is against the incident ray, 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to NBA minus 1 whole bracket 1 by R1, and R2 is measured in the opposite direction, 1 by R1 minus 1 by R2. So this will get on generation lens maker's formula. But in case, so this is the general formula, 1 by V minus 1 by U is equal to 1 B NBA minus 1 whole bracket 1 by R1 minus R2. Now for air, let us say if the air is the medium and lens is one more medium. So now 1 by F focal length, 1 by F focal length, it is 1 by लेंस के लिए अपन तो भी अर्लियर क्लास में फॉर्मूला जो है 1 by F is equal to 1 by V minus 1 by U. So that only we substitute, then NB minus 1, that is air के लिए almost 1 है, so NBA by NA will become N minus 1 whole bracket 1 by R1 minus R2 air के लिए specific problem. So that completes your lesson. 4 little problems and exercises are there which you need to write it as homework. Thank you children. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin.